There is a new rear handle circular saw in town from Metabo HPT, and this is their multi-volt saw. So it is a 36 volt saw, 7¼ inch blade. You can run this on battery or use their AC adapter. I think this is going to be really interesting. We're going to do some cutting, then we're going to get into talking about the saw a little bit. Stick with us. Two sheets of 1/2 inch OSB. We got to square this up a little bit, but there's a stack of 4 1/2 inch pieces of OSB. We're just going to rip through it, see what happens. Looks like we might have went through some areas that didn't fully cut, so let's give her it again. There, with everything square, we made sure we got a full cut on all 4 pieces that time. You can hear the saw bogging slightly, and I wouldn't say bogging, but you can hear the RPMs come down a little bit. Let's just keep her going and see what happens. Maybe slowing a little bit with the battery. Let's go. Very impressive that it just keeps cutting. I mean, the rest here and everything we're giving it is nothing. Still have 3/4 of a battery. If you watch some of our other videos where we've done this, there's been many commercial saws that have just cut out, overheated in this test. We could maybe get 3-4 cuts. We're about through this whole sheet. Down to 1/2 battery. Super impressive. We got to move this wood a little bit so we're not shaving off the sawhorses. Let's keep this going. That is super impressive, because we've gotten the excuse from a lot of companies that their saws just aren't designed to continually cut and cut and cut, and this doesn't happen on the job site. And it may not, but this saw is just taking it. All right, let's do this last cut with the AC adapter. Typically, we've seen a drop in power when using a cord on these tools. Let's just see how this goes. Maybe a slight drop, but not much. At that point, I'm pushing the saw to see if I'm going to get a cutout from either the saw or the AC adapter. It's probably our last cut here. I don't think we've ever done anything like this amount of cuts with a battery operated circular saw without a single cutout. We're back to the 4 amp hour battery, and we're going to just rip some dimensional lumber here. Nice. Let's drop down to the 2.5 amp hour. Here's the same cut with the 2.5 amp hour battery. It's a bit slower, and the same cut with the corded adapter. Back to the 4 amp hour battery, and we are at a 45-degree bevel. There was a knot at the beginning of that cut and one in the middle that slowed us down. It's pretty good. We'll just clean this up with a few simple cross cuts. I don't care what brand you are loyal to. If you watched all those cuts with this saw, you have to be excited to see what technology is pushing out. And if you're not excited, you're just dead inside, because that was awesome. Impressive. The speed, the torque, everything that it was doing to go through all that lumber was amazing. This is definitely on par with the top other two saws that are out there at this point in the 40 volt category. It's too cold outside right now for me to just dive into a saw contest, but it's gonna happen. This thing's a beast. Let's come in and look at it. While we're going around this saw and taking a look at it, we can also go through some of the hits and misses that I see on this saw. First off, I absolutely love how this saw will sit upside down so you can work on the bottom of it. It has a magnesium shoe. It came in right off the bat at 90 degrees and stayed there, which is nice. There is a set screw right here that you can adjust it so that it would hit this bevel stop. You have a stop at 45 degrees and you can continue on up to 53. The markings up front for your 45-degree cut or any of your other cuts here are awesome. They stand out with the white. The dark gray magnesium is smooth, easy to hang on to. You also have your inch marks back here all the way up to 7.5. Everything here is just feels really nice. It operates smoothly. I love that portion of it. The handle up top is easy to use. You do have a rafter hook, which is here. I like that. Your depth adjustment back here, very smooth, very easy to move around. One thing I dislike is this little plastic or rubberish cover. These tend to fall off. I don't know if this one's going to, but this type of like shrinked on cover tends to fall off. Very comfortable at this point. Do I even care if it's there long term? Probably not. I wish it had either just a normal piece, but either way, if you were left-handed, I don't think that's going to get in your way. It could, possibly. As a right-handy, I didn't even see it. The grip in the back here is great. It worked good even when covered with sawdust. The trigger is good. The safety goes either way, ambidextrous. The trigger is just pretty standard, on and off, smooth. Everything here is great. The one thing I wish they would have put on here is the tool holder. This came in the box, and unless I'm absolutely blind here, I'm missing it. I don't see anywhere on this tool that you can put this in. And it would be nice to keep the tool with the saw. So there's no bag with this saw the way it came as a bare tool. So this is just kind of floating around, and it would be nice to have this on the saw. Other than that, the snow kind of got into this area, and while that's not going to happen for everyone, I understand, but sawdust does tend to get in here, but the snow that got on the batteries would get in here and kind of make me have to pound these batteries in a little bit. I don't see that as a long-term issue. If you're using this in the cold and the batteries get a lot of snow on them, or you get snow piled up in here, it may lead to something else, but at this point in time, for what I was using it snow, a little bit of an issue getting some of this in, and it seemed to be more of an issue with snow and ice getting on the AC adapter than anything else. The dust ejection port on this worked awesome. We were throwing sawdust out no matter how much wood we were cutting. If you wanted to go to something where you were trying to do a dust collection system, it does have this plastic tube that you can screw onto the side, hook your vacuum up, and that might help with some dust collection. For a saw like this, I'm not sure how many people are going to use that, but it's there if you would like to, and comes with the saw. You also have a place for some guides in here. It does not come with the guides, but you can drop them in if you have them. I'll tell you, I am super impressed with the amount of grunt this saw had and the ability for it to continue to cut that much wood, especially the 4 pieces of 1/2 inch OSB that were stacked without a single cutout. And I know we were flipping between a bunch of stuff here, trying to use the AC adapter, trying to use a 4 amp hour battery, and we didn't drop down to the 2.5. So that's really pushing all this on one 4 amp hour battery. That is unseen here before. We would be draining batteries much faster on all the other brands, and still when we walk away, this battery has 3/4 of a charge after all that cutting. Now it did sit and come back, but that is a serious amount of cutting. And if you're going to use this on the job site all day, this is going to last you. Super, super impressive to me. I need a little bit more time with this saw, but I'm just super excited where this technology is going to take us, because we do have new battery styles coming out. We also have an AC adapter in the Metabo HPT line, so you could use this corded, although why when you have that kind of power? But if you run out of battery charge, you can use this corded, or if it makes sense to you, you have that option. I just think this is super cool stuff, and the fact that it just blew away that test and rocked it out the whole time is absolutely amazing. I would absolutely love to hear your comments below. I'm sure that many of you guys are going to be just amazed by this saw, and if you aren't, let me know that too. That's always interesting to read. Leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.